royalty. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty. Best to give me loyalty, 'cause I'm taking the world, you'll see. They'll be calling me, calling me. They'll be calling me royalty.
Welcome in everybody to another night of racing here with Heart to Heart Motorsports. Me and J-Dog in the booth tonight. It's your host, Bobby Boy. We're getting geared up here at Langley tonight. What's going on, J-Dog?
What's going on? And how's everybody out there tonight?
Man, I'm telling you what, this is going to be one of the toughest races here in the late model season tonight. We are here at Langley, everybody. It is 0.397 of a mile here at Langley. It's nothing but turning left here. You're going to see a lot of cars putting on a good show tonight. We're going to have 8 cars tonight. So it's only technically going to be one heat race, but we're going to see 100 laps here. That's very tough to do here, J-Dog.
Oh, it's definitely going to be tough on these drivers. And the one thing they don't have to worry about is gas. They don't have to worry about fuel on this track. And one thing we won't have to worry about is tires. They will have to worry about tires on this track. Only the right sides. Hopefully the right sides. But depends how they drive the car. We'll just have to see what's going to happen tonight here in Langley, here in Hampton, Virginia.
Like you said, it's going to be about conserving those tires, but at the same time, you really can't pit here, you know, because if you can really hurt yourself pitting here unless you're only getting one set of tires here. That's the only way you're going to be able to get out of that pits in time to not go a lap down.
That's pretty true. And these guys are looking pretty good out here trying to do some qualifying.
Austin Cornpro is currently going to be the fastest on the track right now with a 15.493.
Bobby Joe and one of our sponsor cars, Best Tire. Looking pretty smooth out here on the track right now. Bobby Joe just threw a lap down at 15.923. around 3 or 4 now for his final lap. Let's see what happens here. Ooh, knocked it down, way down, 15.684.
That's going to currently put him down 0.191 behind Austin. Very close run there. That's going to be one more person for us to qualify tonight here.
And it should be Joe Flash and doesn't know anyone.
It looks like Joe has stepped away for a minute, everybody. So let's take this time here and thank our sponsors, everybody. Let's go ahead and thank out Allen Tillery Buick GMC, everybody, out there in Hot Springs, Arkansas. Y'all make sure you go check them out. Go out to the dealership, check you out a new Chevy or a new Buick out there, you know. Go get you something nice. Go holler at my guy Scott out there. He's the IT guy. Make sure you go holler at him and show him some love. Scott's one of our valuable racers here. He runs the truck series here with us. One of the admins here at Heart to Heart. So showing Scott and Alan Tillery some love. Let's also don't forget to thank Greg Langford with CNL Carpets, everybody. Also, let's not forget to thank Bass Tire, everybody. Make sure y'all go check them out in Nashville, Tennessee, over there by the Nashville Zoo. If you need anything done with your brakes and tires or an alignment, whatever you need done there. Also, let's not forget to thank Chasing Muscle Cars. Y'all go check them out on Facebook. Also, check them out on YouTube out there with Joe Soul and the gang. Everybody out there, much love to y'all. Thank you so much for all your love and support. Also, let's not forget to thank I'm on it today, y'all. I'm on it. Let's also not forget to thank T.W. Perry, everybody, with Andrew Lawmeyer, everybody, and all them guys out there showing the love and support for this season here and giving that chance to bring on new sponsorship this season. It's been an awesome experience, everybody. So looking forward to some good racing tonight, and we're looking forward to some good racing later on in this season as we'll get on to some bigger tracks and really see some guys step out there and give it all they got. So definitely tonight's challenge is just keeping a hold of it, definitely trying to keep it off of that wall, and definitely trying not to spin towards that inside wall, because when you're constantly turning left, them tires can get a little warm, you know, especially when you're not stopping and getting tires and stuff like that. So as we're in the final minutes qualifying, everybody, we're going to step away for commercial break, and we'll be right back.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road, next to the zoo.
All right, everybody. That's going to be from one of our sponsors there, Bass Tire. We'll come back to the rest of the commercials here in just a few. Joe Flash out there throwing his qualifying run down, everybody. Now, Joe Flash currently in that P8 position on that first lap. Let's see how he can round off this second lap right here. Currently going to be down. Currently going to be down on that qualifying run with a 16.041. So, all right, everybody. Much love. Thank you for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future races from Heart to Heart Motorsports, everybody. Races brought to you every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, don't forget to go follow Motormouth Broadcasting so you check out the Heart to Heart Motorsports Truck Series. We race with Motormouth Broadcasting on YouTube, everybody. Y'all make sure you go check him out and hit that subscribe button. Race is brought to you every Sunday Saturday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tonight we're getting a little tongue-tied. We'll get it figured out during the race here. Everybody, as we're in the final minutes here, let's go ahead and step away and show the rest of our sponsors here some love.
From custom millwork to hands-on training to the best products in the industry, T.W. Perry, Builder's First Source, helps you do more. Each of our locations include showrooms featuring windows and doors, decking and railing products, and a wide range of materials designed to inspire your next project. From concept to completion, you a chance to see, touch, and compare the products that bring your vision to life. T.W. Perry, Builder's First Source, building better together.
All right, everybody, we're getting ready to gear up. Green flag here, getting ready to get this heat race over with. You ready to get it, J-Dog?
Oh yeah, I'm ready. Is these drivers ready is the question. We're just going to have to see.
We know how these heat races go. This is the moment when you're going to see the drivers get a little wild. All right, everybody, now pace cars on the track, getting ready to line it up. That's going to be Joe Flack in the lead position with P1, with Dan Cullison taking into P2. Nicholas Mader, everybody, stepping into that P3 position with that Ronald Robertson, everybody, in P4. Alan Marr is going to step into P5 with Bud Light Mike into P6. That's going to be Bobby Joe Lane in P7 with Austin Cornprost in P8. And they're rolling away for the green flag.
Drivers better get ready.
And that's it, the green flag. I'm lying.
Race car's off.
Let's go.
Green flag. Joe got a good start off there.
Joe can get a great advantage here. Just have to hold it consistent and keep that lower line and take advantage of that lower line and make sure you're not running into that wall off the corners. He could get a great run here if he just does that. Mater's taking in that P2, though, but Mater is climbing up here. He's definitely gaining on the rear end of this 91, taking a little bit faster in the corner here. Now the 02 into the inside of the 9. 02 and 95 is trying to make their way up right now. Now getting into the second and third place positions here. Let's see if Joe can hold them off here.
Start going now, single foul in between 3 and 4. Now going front straightaway.
Joe definitely going to have to take a different approach on these corners to keep ahead here. He's going to have to run that a little bit lower, dipping in a little bit early here to keep that line going. Here now the 02's peeking to the inside.
Joe in the L2 and the inside now, 1 and 2 now. Austin right behind him trying to follow in. Now we're going back straightaway. Now Joe now is sliding backwards as Austin now comes up right behind Bobby Joe in the L2.
Alan Moore keeping a close gap as well, making his way up in here into this top 4, top 3 position.
Snaking out this heat. How's it looking good as it's so far? But we got to figure out what this future's going to show. It's showing pretty good right now. As Austin.
Oh, and we got an accident. We got a caution out. The 12 and the 8 collect each other here. Let's go back and take a quick rewind here and take a look at this, everybody, as we got a good look at that here. Good look. All right. Let's go back into that far chase view, everybody, so you can take a good look at what happened here. We'll put her into slow motion here. Looks like 12's going to drive it off the corner, not clear enough to get behind that 8 there, and going to clip the rear end of that 8, and that 8's going to spin. Good thing nobody else got caught into the mess, so it's going to go back to some good racing here. It doesn't look like he's got much damage, so we should be able to keep moving on.
Unfortunate for the 8 and Ronald. Hopefully he can be out here, be able to get back out here on this track and be able to finish off this heat. Caution laps does not count in heats.
You know, you see Nicholas Mater back here in P8, you know, started in a great position here, and now in the back of the field here. Will he make his way back up there? Is this kind of a tactic here to see how it plays off?
He does get a little right side, left side damage to that car when he got hit by him, when he did take that wall on the inside. So he does got a little damage on that left front fender of the car, so it might cause a little bit of run in for him here at the beginning of this race. As soon as we go back to the restart.
So now the pace car will go in this time. This next go round here, the pace car will be going in, and we'll be back to green flag with 6 laps to go. I'm very excited to see what's going to happen between this 02 and 95, because they was working together really good there. Green flag, the 02's getting the run. The 9 is making stuff happen. The 91 is trying to hold us of it here. Now he's moving back a little bit. The 9 and the 95 trying to work together here as the 12 is on the rear end of the 95.
Austin Corpus in 95 now, trying to get around Alamar and trying to get up to Bobby Joe in the L2.
02 getting a lot of momentum on that start there, but that 95 is starting to pick up some more speed here. It sounds like a big crash, big crash. Looks like Joe Flash is going to be involved in that last one. Let's go see if we can find it Yep, here we go right here. Let's take a quick rewind here, see what happened here. As we'll get back into it here with that far chase and put it in slow motion for you. Looks like the 91's going to come off the corner a little wrong, get in the wall, get into the 47. Both of them spin. Unfortunately, man, looks like Joe Flash is going to be able to continue going around there, but we did see him go into pit road. Probably got a little damage there. The 47's got some damage too. He's going to make his way turn around. Probably lost his steering there, I'm going to say. Definitely a tough hit there. This track can definitely do that to you. Definitely can tear that car to pieces. All right, let's get it back live streaming here for you, everybody. And get back on that. Free play. It looks like 47's got it all fixed up and ready to go. The 91 looks like he's still going to be on pit road here. Currently maybe out of the run here. Maybe out of the run, hopefully. But he'll still get them last place points here because it's only 8 drivers tonight. 8 drivers tonight. So he'll get every bit of the points in this heat race. All right, let's go, everybody, as we get ready to gear up and go racing again here. Man, you see that, and then you're going to know that they're running 100 laps in the feature. It's definitely going to be a game changer.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be a game changer. Felt sorry for Joe. He came down on him, though, just coming into his lane there in the 47. So that's unfortunate for Joe Flash and the 91. So now we have to get ready to go back for the restart.
But if Joe does make it out of the pits before this caution is up, he will not go any laps down because the heat races do not count under caution flags here, so he won't go no laps down. He can still go out here and battle this thing out, you know, and get some better points here. So we'll see what happens.
His car's off.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag.
02 is going to get the jump again. 95 trying to make it work on the outside of the 9. 9's now peeking to the bottom. They're going to tap a little bit. The 9's going to go into the grass. Now shooting back up the track. Putting the 12 and the 8 under the line. But they continue going strong here. Looking good. Looking good. Let's go, boys. The 8 side by side with a 9. Now 8's going to get the position.
I was about to say, Lamar was caught sleeping at the start, so he got a little slow start there, and now the race is continuing as Bobby Joe's got 2 to go.
95 is gaining, but will he have enough time? As now we're on the final lap of the heat race. 47 must have damage. He's going into pit road. But he's going to grab that 7th place tonight. Lane is going to grab the checker flag with Austin Corpus taking into that P2 position with Ronald Robinson and everybody taking into P3. Alomar is going to grab P4. Nicholas Mater is going to be in P5. Dan Collison in P6. Bud Light Mike in P7. And Joe Flash in P8.
As there's your results as the final of the only heat of the night.
Let's just take a quick overview here of the points here this late model season, everybody. We got Austin Cornpros currently in P1 in the points with 202 in points. Alomar is going to be right behind him with 193. Bobby Joe Lane's going to be in that P3 position with 179. Ronald Robinson's going to be in P4 with 166. Dan Coles, Robert Yonke, everybody, is going to be in P5. He's not here tonight. Unfortunately, he missed the race tonight. He's going to be in that P5 position with 165. Dan Collison's going to grab into that P6 spot with 161. He should be able to move up at least to that P5 position with Yonke missing this week. Michael Logston, everybody. Bud Light Mike currently in that P7 position against Andrew Lawmeyer, everybody. So unfortunately, Andrew missed tonight too, so that's going to definitely guarantee that P7 spot. Maybe even an extra position with Robert Yonke missing as well. But Bud Light Mike is going to grab that 150 points, everybody, with Andrew right behind him with 150 as well. Joe Flash going to be able to gain a few positions tonight as well at 145 as long as he can keep it good tonight. Sam Watson not in the mix tonight, not here, but he's going to be in P10 in the points at 129. That's going to be our top 10 in points, everybody. There's definitely a few more drivers here that we could talk about. We got Nicholas Mader, Nicholas Mader had a very bad start to the season, but he's looking a lot faster here as he continues on and he keeps moving forward and progressing. As you can see right now in this warm-up here, he's currently 6th fastest, so he's definitely picked up a lot of pace.
That is true.
You know what they say, practice makes perfect, so you definitely got to give it all you can and keep consistent and make it happen.
It's definitely going to be a close race tonight, especially this track temperature being about 65 degrees. Pretty good look of the blimp there. This track right here is definitely going to show some good close and good racing. Take a look now here in Alomar and get his little warm up here.
All right, everybody getting to finish up the warm-up, and we're getting ready to go green flag for 100 laps at Langley. All right, everybody, here's going to be your starting lineup with Joe Flash going to take into P1. Bud Light Mike's going to step into that P2 position. Dan Collison's going to grab P3 with Nicholas Mader in P4. Alan Marr is going to be in P5 with Ronald Robertson. Everybody's going to be in P6. That's going to put Austin Cornprost in P7 with Bobby Joe Lane starting in that last place position in P8. You know, if we see anything like we did with that heat race here, you're going to see that 95 and that 02 trying to make their way through this field here. You also got Ronald back there definitely going to try to pick it up, make his way, grab those points here. You know, you're going to see a lot of people be able to get some points here early on here, like Joe Flack, Bud Light Mike, you know. Looks like Bud Light Mike missed the start here.
That's not a good thing.
Yeah, the 47's on pit road. It looks like he missed the start, unfortunately. As the pace car will go in next lap. But if Bud Light Mike can still make it in and take off after these guys, he can possibly get a lap back, you know. So that possibly is a thing here. The cautions will happen here. I believe we will have a couple. I could be wrong, though. You never know.
Pace car's off, and we are greening Langley. Joe with a good start.
Yes, sir. 12's trying to tuck in, make it happen. That 22 was caught sleeping at the start here. Going to fall back a little bit. That's going to give the 9 the momentum to jump into that P3 position here. Now to the 8, side by side with the 22 here. 22 is going to start falling back here a little bit. We got a little wall scrubbing back there. You can definitely hear it. Now as we got a battle for second, the 9 is now making his way up here, trying to get the moves on early. 91's going to get them points for leading a lap.
Some strong moves here in the early going in this race. We're just going to have to see what's going to happen here as Joe Flack is now holding a good lead.
Sir, Joe has looked really good this season, put on some really good racing here lately. I'm really excited to see what he can pull off tonight. He's definitely got into a little bit of trouble here and there, but he's done some good racing this season.
Now Lamar's not too far along behind him now. He's trying to look on the inside, now on the outside. Now he's going back straightaway. Now single file, now 3 and 4.
Taking a look here at Dan Collison, currently in that P3 position. Dan Collison looking really good, just trying to hold it good enough here. Now we got the 95 and the 02 now in that 4th and 5th place spots here. Now trying to gain into that top 3 here.
Lamar just now took the lead position from Joe Flack, and Flack is now falling back a little bit as Dan Colson in 12 now coming around turn 2, now going back straightaway.
Starting to see that high side's a very dangerous place to be.
Yeah, especially with all that marble y'all see on the top of that track, that's the worst place to be. You need to be at the bottom of that track at least, in the middle or at the bottom. Not too far along at the yellow of the track.
Because now we got a battle going on here. The 95 and the 91 he's up there. He's holding it pretty consistent. But now he's side by side with the 02.
Joe in the 02 now trying to follow in and now hop behind Austin.
Taking a look at Ronald here now. Ronald's trying to make his way around the 91 of Joe Flack here. Got a lot of people making their way around here. Is that 91 on that high side? They're going to tap a little bit, but they keep it under control. 22 is going to get around. Now running a little bit lower line here. 91's just going to have to cut in line and make his move as soon as somebody burns them tires up and tries to start shooting up high.
And they're going to get loose in that marble, and they're going to end up going into the wall. And you don't want to go in here, go to the wall here in Langley. There ain't no safety barriers on either side of this track. So you want to make sure you stay on where you're at racing.
Taking a look at the gyro cam here of Bobby Joe Lane, everybody. In the 02. Now, behind third place here is trying to make something happen here as everybody's pretty much in a line here. The 9's got a pretty good lead with the 1 second gap.
trying to make a little gap up to catch up. Then I'm on to give him a little battle. But there's still a lot of race left.
It does look like Bud Mike is still on that lead lap for now, trying to hold on to it, but he is far behind here, and that leader is gaining on him. But, you know, like I said, if there's a caution, he can get that lap back as long as he's not involved in that accident. So it could pay off for him in the long run here. As now, Alan Marr's pushing. He's giving it as all he's got here to just keep going and moving forward. See that 12 still holding on strong here. The 95 is working his way through turn 2.
Alan Marr still trying to catch up. 47 Blood Like Mike. He better watch out because Alan Marr's starting to knock on his door a little bit. Coming around 1 to 2. Ooh, Dan Colson just scraped the first front stretch wall. Now he's got Austin not too far behind him now, and now on the straightaway in the back straightaway. Colson now trying to look to the inside. Dan Colson now knocking on his bumper. Now on the back straightaway.
We're seeing Dan Colson try to take a little bit lower corner of that last corner there, trying to get that momentum to run off of the corner there to stay ahead of that 95. But unfortunately, it's going to slow him down even more here. Now cutting in front of the 02.
And we'll put Austin Cornpost in the P2 position. As Dan Colson now trying to battle back to get that 2 position when the 02 now is right behind Dan Colson now trying to get to 3rd position.
Got the teammates in P1 and P2. Alan Marr's going to get those bonus points here for leading a lap. Who will get the laps, most laps led here? Can he pull it off?
Dan Colson starting to get a little bit closer in Austin. Rear end now coming back straightaway. Built single file round now, and it's hard to pass on this track.
I'll tell you what, it's a lot of consistent speed around here. You're seeing these guys look really good here. So now the 9's to the inside of the 47, putting Bud Light Mike down a lap. It looks like we got Joe Flack out of the race. Not really sure what happened. Maybe too much damage there early on, or maybe some internet connection issues. Not really sure. Unfortunate for Joe there. Hopefully he'll be able to figure something out, maybe even get a few laps in before this race is over. But at least he'll still grab top 8 in points here. That's a lot of points to make up.
That is true.
You're talking about a huge jump there in points with all the people that has missed this race this week. Definitely going to be a tough one here. Like I said, this track is so small, everybody. It's got 6-degree bankings here. It is 0.397 of a mile. Not even a full mile here. Not even a quarter mile. It's a tough one. But all right, everybody, let's get it as we see Dan Collison still holding on to that P3 position, but that 02 is trying to make something happen.
Cornpost is not too far along behind Alan Marr around turn 2 now, back straightaway. the inside of Alamar. Back straightaway. Not too far along behind him. Dan Colson in 12 trying to catch up to Austin when he got Bobby Joe right behind him in the 4th position. Now, coming around front straightaway. A lot of action going on around this little bitty track. It's a great aerial view of the cars.
Currently got the battle going for 3rd and the battle for 1st.
Dan's sitting there trying to hold Bobby Joe back, but it's to the point now, and it is harder to pass on this track. The good thing you don't have to worry about is gasoline. You do have to worry about some tires.
Well, the real trick here, J-Dog, is definitely, just try to cut in behind somebody here. Don't slide those tires. If you're sliding those tires, that's where it's going to hurt you. But you definitely see that 95 on the tail end of this 9 with that 02 on the tail end of the 12 here.
Bobby Joe trying to look at the inside of Dan Colson now. Dan Colson just now got passed by Bobby Joe now on the back straightaway.
That's going to give Bobby Joe the push he needs to get up here with these other 2. Alamar has now got to worry, as we're almost halfway into this race.
Battle here from the pole position is Austin still trying to look at the inside of Alamar. Alamar is doing like he's supposed to do. Hold close to that line as close as you possibly can to at least hold your opponent back.
Austin getting closer and closer every single lap here, though. It's starting to get that lower line. That 9's running a little bit higher line there.
Austin now on the back bumper, and Amar now for a straightaway, going into 1.
02 still trying to close that gap here now with a 1.3 second gap, still closing. Dan Colson still falling back a little bit here, but he's trying to keep that consistent and keep into that P4 position. You got Ronald Robinson back here in 5th place, currently 8 seconds behind P4 here, but looks like he's having a little bit of trouble there with tires or something there. Nicholas Mater, everybody, currently running in P6 here, 2 seconds behind that 5th place spot, so he's gaining on Ronald there. We got Bud Light Mike still currently just 1 lap down here, but looking pretty consistent out there now, so we'll see what he can pull off here. Let's get back to the action now as you see the 95 behind the 9 here, still giving it all he's got, and that 2 is closing fast.
As now we are getting to the halfway point of this race, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be right back here in just a moment.
custom millwork to hands-on training to the best products in the industry, TW Perry, Builder's First Source helps you do more. Each of our locations include showrooms featuring windows and doors, decking and railing products, and a wide range of materials designed to inspire your next project. From concept to completion, you a chance to see, touch, and compare the products that bring your vision to life. TW Perry, Builder's First Source, building better together.
Hi, I'm Aaron Lane from Bass Tire.
Hi, I'm Steve Bass. We're here at the legendary Nashville Fairgrounds Speedway. Good tires and brakes are important on this race car, and so are the tires and brakes on your vehicle.
For the very best in tires, brakes, and auto service, come make a pit stop at Bass Tire.
Serving Nashville for over 35 years.
On Nolensville Road next to the zoo.
All right, and we're back, everybody. Green flag running here is now. We got Bobby Joe Lane currently in that P3 position. Let's take a look at these driver cams here. Bobby Joe Lane out there in his new heart-to-heart motorsports gear there tonight, rocking out in that Bass Tire Chevrolet, everybody, that 02. He's getting a good run on the 95 of Austin Corpos, currently in that P2 position. Now has closed that gap down from a second, 0.3, now down under 0.3 of a second. Let's go. Austin Cornpros currently still running in that P2 position, doing a great job of battling off this leader here. But that 9's looking very consistent up front there. A little bit earlier, you saw that 9 taking that higher line there as well, you know, and that 95 was definitely trying to take advantage of that. But that 9's starting to hold it down on that lower line, realize that's the place to be. The real question is Allen and Austin and Lane here, are they all three going to stick it out and try to run a full run on these tires here?
Still showing a close race here. Now to Bobby Joe in the mix.
All right, everybody, let's crank it up for a few seconds. We got 1, 2, 3 here, bumper to bumper, as now they're getting ready to catch another lap car here of the 8. They are on his bumper. We're going to look and see what they can do.
I did just get him to the little side of Alomar. Now showing a lot he's there. Now he's trying to go to the inside of Alomar, but Bobby Joe trying to push. Side by side now, front straightaway going in one.
The teammates battling it out for the lead position. Austin's going to take advantage of the lower line. The 02 is as well. The 95 Gonna burn up enough tire there. It might pull them back just a little bit now. As now the 9's trying to take advantage of that lower line.
Some really good close racing, really good action between these fellas right now.
Dan Collison still currently running in that P4 position, but now down 11 seconds from P3, so he can most definitely possibly still go a lap down here. Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he'll keep it controlled. As now we got Lane trying to make it happen, close the gap of the 95. Alan Marr going to fall back just 0.4. So he's still close. He's still in the mix. The real question is, his tires really taking a toll here now as we're 25 laps down from green.
We got 25 laps left in this race. Austin still showing a good going race going here now. Bobby Joe's not too far along behind as Alan Marr is in the P3 position. Still trying to get a close race and try to catch up to these boys up front.
The 8's going to jump to the high side, let these guys around here.
That will put Ronald Robertson 3 laps down in the 8.
You know, regardless, like you look at it, he's 3 laps down here, but he's 7th place. That is a lot of points to gain here. That's 34 points, you know. That's a lot of points to gain.
Very true.
We do go back and take a look here at Joe Flack, though. Joe Flack had dropped due to connection issues, so it was an internet-based issue, unfortunately, for Joe Flack. Man, unfortunately, that happens every once in a while. Sorry to hear that, Joe. But that's a top 8 for you tonight, brother. It's a top 8. Austin Cornpro still leading this race now as he makes his way up to Dan Collison.
Austin having a good race, passing these cars left and right.
Lane starting to fall back just a little bit there. But if he can hold on to that P2, he's definitely pulled away from P3 just a little bit here. Alan Marr is now doing all he can to hold on to it. You can see these guys, they definitely wore those tires out, trying to make their way to the front of this field.
As Dan Coulson now goes a lap down, that will only put like 3 on the lead lap. So if Coulson does come out, Dan Coulson will be the first lucky dog.
We knew coming into this race it would be a challenging race, and that's why we believed a lot of people wouldn't even come in and race this week. A lot of people don't like this track, but you know, it definitely shows who your drivers are and what they can do, you know, because it's a tough one. It's very tough.
This is a very tough track. I was out here like last week out here practicing with the fellas, and it's a tough track. It will eat you alive.
Because now you see Lane trying to make his way around Collison. He's not going to want to hang around the backside of these cars very long, or that's going to really hurt him. He's going to want to get around these guys because that's going to give Alan Marr the advantage he needs to make his way back up to. Because now he gets around the 12, trying to make his way to the 47 of Bud Light Mike here. Bud Light Mike currently 2 laps down, just holding on. Austin Cornpro's putting on a great race here, putting on some good racing now with a 2-second gap against second.
Now here to the inside of Bobby Joe Lane's car. Yellow Duke.
Now to the inside of the 47. Still trying to make something happen against Austin here. Getting a little loose off the corners. You can see how much they're actually cranking that steering wheel. Take a look at this here as we're now stepping into Alan Marr's car. You see him slowing down a whole lot in that corner there. Definitely, you see that wheel constantly turning to that left side. Barely getting a brake to go straight there.
Yeah, as soon as you get on that gas on these short straightaways, you're right back on that brake going around these corners. It's a fast, short track, is what it is. We got 7 to go.
Austin getting a little free there. 6 laps to go. Tires are worn.
Kind of giving these drivers a little bit of chance to catch up to them. But they're still showing a little bit of traffic between Bobby Joe and Alan Marr too as well.
There, Bobby Joe is going to be currently 3.4 seconds behind the leader right now. '95 just trying to hold on for 4 more laps.
Bobby Joe Lang still not too far behind.
Alan Marr looking to carry into that P3 this week. But he's back here battling with that lap traffic there, as you see the 8 and the 12 battling it out back here, as these guys are mainly battling it out.
2 to go. As soon as Austin now comes around, it'll be the final lap. Last lap.
Final corner for Austin Corporals coming out turn 4. He's going to win it tonight. Take the 95 to victory lane here. The 02 of Bobby Joe Lane's going to grab that P2 position here. With Alan Marr, everybody, going to grab P3. Dan Collison's going to grab P4. Nicholas Mader in P5, everybody. Bud Light Mike's going to grab that P6 position with Ronald Robinson, everybody, in P7. Joe Flash, unfortunately, gets some internet issues, and he's going to end up in P8 tonight. Austin Cornprost, everybody, pulling off the win tonight. He did it. He did a great run tonight as he goes to victory lane here at Langley.
Good race with all these guys.
Definitely.
You've got some fireworks.
Definitely. See if we get him down here where he was here. Just real quick. That way we get a good picture of him here in just a minute. All right, there we go. There we go. All right, let's get him in here for an interview. All right, let's see if we can talk to him here. All right, everybody, that's going to be Austin Cornprost taking that lead position tonight, taking the win to victory lane here at Langley. Let me tell you what, it was definitely some tough racing. We know it was because you're constantly turning left. You know, a lot of very amazing to see the passes we saw tonight and the moves y'all was able to make and get that good finish tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, man. I started driving one-handed. My darn right arm is tired right now. It's asleep. But no, it was a good race. I really like this track. I've had a lot of success at this track and the officials, and had good tire wear tonight. At the end of the race, I had 70 on the right front and 79 on the right rear, so definitely a lot better than some. But yeah, it's a tough track. Uh, and there's some good racing out there. Went green flag. I like to see it.
Most definitely, most definitely. You know, you talk about these short tracks, and then here the next week or two, you know, we'll get into some bigger tracks. We'll go into Thompson next week, and then we'll go into some IRP. So definitely a little bit more speed at those tracks, I believe. Definitely, hopefully you'll get some more good runs, right?
I hope so. Not a fan of IRP. I know Scott and Bobby are really good at it. And I think Stafford's on the schedule too. I'm a big fan of Stafford too, so can't wait for that one.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites too. You know, I like that track.
I
That's a
love
good
it.
one. All right. Well, you got any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, shout out TW Perry, Chase the Muscle, Bass Tire, Allen Tillery, Buchanan Resort, Miss You Rusty. Um, and you and J Dog up in a booth. Y'all doing great week to week, and that's it.
All right. We appreciate you as always, and we hope to see you again soon.
Thank y'all.
All right, everybody. That's going to be Bobby Joe Lane, everybody grabbing that P2 position. Bobby Joe Lane having a great race, making his way up there. But it looks like about the time that he got into that P2 position, it looked like tire wear was really starting to play a little bit of a factor there, not giving him the run he needed to make his way back up there to the 95. But still, a second place finish is a good finish. You get a lot of points for that, and, you know, including the points you received off of the heat race. How you feeling?
Oh, I'm glad it's over with. Arm's tired, but no, I didn't think I could beat Austin all the way from the get go. He's been fast, but he was 2/10 faster than us in practice. But I thought maybe he'd go up there and burn his tires up. The only shot I had, but honestly, I burnt mine up trying to keep up with him. Allen and Austin are super fast.
Definitely put on some great speed there, but as we saw, you know, Allen kind of fell back a little bit too there. He got at least to lead the lap there, and then kind of looked like he burned him up, and he kind of fell back just a little bit there, and you know, but you could definitely see the tire wear was an advantage tonight, and you know, for you guys to run a full 100 laps on some tires, not a bad deal, not a bad deal. Grab P2.
Yeah, I'm glad I practiced them runs. We compared tires at the end of that run, and I think Austin was like 70% still on his right front, and I was like 50, and Allen was 29. So, yeah, you could tell there was a lot of difference in driving styles to wear them tires out.
Most definitely. So, you got any shout outs for us tonight?
Yeah, I'll give a shout out to Bass Tire and all my family watching. My wife and you and J Dog for broadcasting, and Alan Tillery and CNL Carpets and Jason Muscle and everybody that has anything to do with this league. I have a hard time keeping up with all the sponsors. I guess I'm going to have to write them down, but everybody who does anything to help this league, it's very well appreciated, and lets us come here and have fun every week.
Yes, that's the most important part. You know, the sponsors mean everything, and the people that watch. You know, that's what brings us together and allows us to have a good time and put on a good show for everybody. So, thank you for coming in the booth with us tonight, talking to us, and I hope to see you again soon. All right, everybody. That's going to be Bobby Lane. Everybody grabbing P2 with Alan Marr stepping into that P3 position tonight. Looks like he did go up there. He led a few laps, and then kind of tire wear really took effect tonight. As you see, he really burnt that right front up tonight. But, you know, he did get them points, like I said, for leading that lap and had a good run. Still got P3. How you feeling?
Well, good. Just try to get out in front of those guys, put some car lengths between us, get out in front, and hope that they get caught up in some mess. I knew Austin and Bobby were going to be quick. Try to stay on that inside, and they caught me slipping on a turn, and it was over after that. But P3 ain't too bad.
Not at all, not at all. So you also had you just upgraded your wheel too, So tell me, did it seem to play any kind of factors tonight compared to what you used to running with?
Oh yeah, it's giving a lot more feedback on what the car is actually doing. I can feel what it's doing going in and out, and it's definitely taking a little toll on my right shoulder. I'm sore as hell after that one.
Most definitely. So you got any shout outs tonight?
Yeah, appreciate you guys putting us on. All the guys who sponsor us. Austin and Bobby for keeping it clean and not putting me in the fence. Had fun.
All right, everybody. That's going to be Austin Cornprost, everybody, and P3. Thank you so much for watching. And J-Dog, got any closing notes for us tonight?
We will see you next Wednesday at Thompson.